So welcome to today's workshop. Today's topic is Beyond the Endpoint, Building a Resilient IT Ecosystem for Modern Business. So I'm Kenneth Low, CISSP, Technical Director of Version 2 Singapore. So the agenda today, we'll talk about why endpoint protection alone is not regular enough. Although you may heard many times, many different kinds of vendors, organizations telling you endpoint protection is not enough, but the fact is still have many SME or small business or even mid-sized business is quite rely on the endpoint protection and the so-called network file only, although they still have many things other than that. And we'll talk about the evolving threats that will affect our IT operations. So why endpoint is not enough. So 5 key solutions we will introduce today to help you to enhance the resilience for your modern infrastructure. And also today we will add some local context about how to align with Singapore Cyber Essential. Okay, so let's talk more about the current situation. Yeah, so why endpoint is not enough? Because a growing resilience required on a SaaS and hybrid infrastructure. Although we don't have much on although customers don't have solutions on the SaaS, but they are using it. They have a cloud mail, they have for the and also have those SaaS application, the ERP system, or simply they're using Google Cloud. There is more and more footprint on the SaaS platform, as well as we have some hybrid infrastructure. They may have some payload already moved to the cloud. Maybe they have some internal system already hosted in the cloud, but they still only employ like a simple endpoint protection for the endpoints, even don't install anything on the cloud, although they have a server there. It's very common actually, yeah. So, but the problem is, you didn't care, but the hackers and cyber criminal cares because they know those are weak points. So they may not just attack your on-premises network, maybe as a jump server or a lateral movement starting point, but at the end of the day, they will seek for their most valuable data and productions. Then maybe they'll go for ransom, they steal your data, resell in the dark web, wherever they want to do. And third point is compliance getting more and more important. Not just compliance, but also some security guidelines. Many governments, like of course Singapore, also China, and many other countries, Taiwan, or Korea, Japan, they all have, of course, first of all, the privacy law, and also they have more and more compliance and requirement, not just for those sensitive industry, not just for the bank, not just for the critical infrastructure, but also apply to SMB, because they know all the daily lives, all the transactions, all the business activity now go through internet. So and there's far from enough for those SME and SMB to doing the protection of the data or the system or the computer or their users or their customers. So compliance will pushing harder and harder. On the other way around, that means we got shortage of IT people because there's suddenly double or triple requirement, but there's not that much people doing cybersecurity or IT in the industry. But anyway, today is not the analysis of a shortage of IT people, but that's created problems, right? So we need more nice solutions. So let's focus a little bit on Singapore. Singapore government is pushing the better cyber security hygiene. They push cyber essential and others. So for benchmark or for people to business to apply, they have issue a general guidelines for SMB, practically what they should do. Of course, endpoints is one of the things, but there's still many, right? and even not every company doing backup, right? So that's the problem. And even though you do the very basic firewall endpoint backup, still far from enough. Yeah, so that's the gap, and we need to push and help customer. Some of them do interest to get a cyber insurance mark that helps them to showcase their customer to their customer, say, oh, I'm do handle your data with care. You need not to worry about that. One having that mark and others don't have, you may get more business. So that's one of the reasons they will start to concern and push. So today we will introduce 5 solutions. First one is called Pandora FMS, which is a unified monitoring system for any infrastructure, no matter it's on-prem only, offline environment, hybrid network, or pure cloud infrastructure. So it is a very, very flexible and capable monitoring system to provide you very good visibility to all your device and application and infrastructure. Next is NACView, which is Agentless or agent-based network access control. Well, in very old days, Cisco pushed the NAC and people do the on-prem one, but actually now it's not enough. Many companies just do the network switch or the cable switches, but they didn't do the Wi-Fi and other sub network. That's not enough. Yeah, especially we start to have many IoT device, BYOD mobile phones, tablets, laptops that we have to reassess. Is that our NAC doing good enough, or the guest network do we really isolate and control and monitor? So NACView can help to fulfill this gap. Next is Keepit. Keepit is a immutable SaaS backup solutions. It helps you to backup SaaS data, namely Cloud Mail, M365, and Google Workspace, and also Cloud Drive, OneDrive, and also Google Drive. Well, of course, there's a few more like Extra ID and there's Salesforce and Dynamic CRM, but anyway, majority customer pay for the Cloud Mail and Cloud Drive. That's also very important, and many customer ignore this part. Yeah, they just think, oh, it's fine for Google Drive or Google Cloud Mail, whatever, but actually it doesn't. I will explain more later. Next is software. Well, besides of course, many very, very small operation company, they may only have few laptops and then using Cloud Mail, that's it, right? But if they have some internal server, they still need to back it up, or their own application, no matter it's holding in the cloud or some on-prem server or for a virtual machine, or people thinking about moving out from VMware because it's too expensive. Sorry, very good options. I will tell you the why later. Last is JumpCloud, which is a cloud directory. Well, in many cases, people using Mac, or every company may have small portion. Some are large, but most of them are small, like a few percentage or 10%. But that could be a problem because they didn't install antivirus, they don't have directory control, still rely on on-prem AD. Those are free flow and not managed well. JumpCloud is a very good alternative to manage all the identity, control all your devices, and provide certain IT automation. I will talk to you a little bit more later. Okay, so let's start from Pandora first. So it provides a visibility foundation because it will help to monitor all your on-prem, cloud, network, and applications, and help you enforce SLA, and help you to monitor application end to end, from the network, server, database, application queue, message queue, or the user experience. All you can monitor and record and alerts through Pandora FMS. So for cyber essential, access management and patch management, patch monitoring or access monitoring is part of it. Okay, so let's deep dive a little bit on Pandora. So what Pandora do, as I mentioned, we are infrastructure monitoring solutions. It is a all-in-one platform. No matter you host putting on the cloud or monitoring something on the cloud, on-prem, offline, online, doesn't matter. Okay, and he can do a single server or just a simple virtual machine, and then can monitor thousands of device, and we can support dynamic threshold. It means it won't be a fixed figures for certain measurement like CPU usage or memory usage. It can be adaptive to your situation. And the web console easy to configure and no hidden costs, high scalability. In case you hosting in a very large scale, it can stack multiple server to maintain it, and they use lots of open source technology, so you need not to buy a digital license. You just buy license from Pandora, then you can host and run the monitoring for any of your assets and device. And also we support service map, so we can help you to monitor application from end to end. And also we have some premium add-on that require extra cost, like if you got a large SAP operation that multiple server, you need a specific application to do monitoring, like the message queue, resources, or whatever. We have a plugin for SAP and also IBM iServer in case for those bank or wherever they're using IBM iServer. There's not much options on the market, so Pandora is one of them. So how they do monitoring? First of all, they support remote monitoring for those SMP, TCP protocol. Mainly, we use it to monitor your network device or IoT device, like your firewall, your switches, if you still got hub, or even printers, or any other IoT device, IP cam, whatever, you can use it to do a remote monitoring. Okay, and also of course we support agent. You can install an agent to your device. We support Windows, Mac, Linux, AIX, HPUX, Linux, and FreeBSD. I think still have DOS version, but I'm not sure it works or not. But anyway, we have really wide range of some OS of support. So how it works is after you install agent, it will collect the information on your device and send an XML file to the server. And also as a local agent, it can help you to run some scripts to do patching, to updates, whatever. So it's just some additional add-on that you can make use of Pandora to do. So it can get more detailed information. Like for example, you want to check if there is a service is running on the Windows server, or you have a proprietary application, you want to monitor the message queue, or there's some database information as a threshold or data to monitor, you can do it through the agent. Okay, so it support multiple segments, so we can access using different network to do the monitor. If it's through the Wi-Fi or WAN or in the cloud, is also not a problem. And lastly, as I said, we can support multiple servers in case you are monitoring a very large infrastructure, like talking about 100K of device. We can stack multiple server to do the monitoring to ensure all your monitoring or all your matrix or alerts will be hit on time and there is no further delay. And it is HA, of course, available on the Endpoint with multiple server. So there's a few things that we can monitor, like network computers or device with SMP, different operating systems. We can monitor a business application, not just SAP, but also Oracle, Exchange, JBoss, WebLogic, those legacy application server, right? And also database on the cloud, on the virtual machine, user experience, and also log collection. We can help to collect logs, but it doesn't do very large log collection. So there's some limitation. If you really want to do log collection, there can be other sources. But if you just want to collect some like remote device, it's fine. Yeah, we can do it for you. Well, anyway, so it is a very flexible full coverage monitoring tools, because for other vendors, they may not able to monitor certain small device or mobile device. Well, but Pandora can do it for you. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, let's go on. So next is NACView, which is Agentless access control. Of course, you can plan agent. I will tell you why we put agent. So it can help you instantly discover all the network connected device, classify them, group them together, enforcing rules. For example, you have to authenticate, or you have to be certain MAC address or model then before you can access. So those device has to be registered before they can access your network. And also we can integrate with firewalls, ADs, and any kind of directories. So not just with AD, you can integrate like to OpenID, Alter, Google Drive, Google Workspace account, XYD, any directory or your local database is works. So you can use it to do the authentication, log into Wi-Fi, or when the PC log into the access to the LAN cable, they can authenticate. Of course, we support certificates, so you know to key in any password, but you have to deploy the cert or using our agent. Okay, so for cyber essentials, access control and access visibility. So that's one key point. Many compliance say you have to ensure the network security by only allow authorized device to use your network. In return, that means NAC, right? So, but not that easy to do in many cases. The reason why is first of all, many solutions is vendor centric. So you may have to use Cisco, then you can use the Cisco NAC. But if you got mix and match, it's a problem, right? But NACview support most of the common managed switch, can do the NAC for you. So how it works is something like this. You have an NAC server, and someone want to access your network. So the network device talk to NACview, NACview talk to your backend database or your repository or your directory. After authenticate, this user and device allowed to access this network segment, then I will give it a network access. Maybe we give them a specific VLAN or isolate the device from the network, or just let it work normally. So this basic operation of NAC. Of course, we can support the captive photo for the guest network or the BYOD device that we can integrate with your existing AP to offer that services. Yeah. Next. So for IoT device, they cannot punch in the password, right? So usually we will do MAC address authentications, or we do some SMP checkup, like is that the authorized model or the matching our database, or do certificates. If the device supports certificate, then we can authenticate the IoT device and then let them in. So usually for the IP cam, smart TV, printers, we usually authenticate this way. Yeah. So as I mentioned, we support variety of the directory. So the Microsoft AD, some social media, most of the case used for Keepit photo. Yeah, we usually not use that for access the internal network or database. So you can have integrate in case you have a, for example, ERP system of your user, all the user there. We can integrate with the ERP system database as an authentication source to authenticate the user. Need not to be a directory. Of course, Google Drive, extra ID, Radius, and other extra authentication repository, we also can support it as long as we can authenticate the user through certain API, then we'll be fine. So also we can support authenticate the guest OS for the virtual platform with NAC. In certain organization, they do pay attention to the security for the virtual machines. Oh, you may question why, because the host already authenticate, right? But how about the VM? Well, they want to avoid those rough VM that user create, then joining the critical network that create problems, because that VM can be created by developers or administrators or hackers. So they sometimes they do want to do NAC not just on the host basis, but also into individual guest machines. Yeah, but that is a very pretty high requirement, and the hypervisor itself has to support that. Some hypervisor didn't support, so at least VMware Hyper-V support that. Yeah, some others may be support, can integrate, but check it. You have to check case by case. Okay, and of course, if there's a simple client OS, we can of course authenticate them. And for endpoints, we are not just do authentications, but we also support you install agent to verify the endpoint's secure portfolio. Is that update enough? Is the OS end of life? Is there any suspicious service running, or the required AV is up and running? We can do it for you by install an agent there. So this is the software we call NACView Scout, so which is a tools to help you to monitor. And there's other way to authenticate and access the security profiles of those endpoints. So of course, different OS having different API and capability. But anyway, most of those AV is up to date, is that encrypted, is firewall on, is process running, file check. We support the major common Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you can do a risk assessment to your device before it can access your local network or your critical network. If they're not passed, you may isolate them to a guest network with internet, try to run some script to auto heal. If that heal is fine, and then you can come back. Otherwise, we will isolate, then wait for further help to fix it. So we can integrate, of course, OTP with many different vendors. Also, we have OTP come with TOTP, and also you can integrate with other OTP and VPN vendors, client application. So this is the network configuration. I think we can skip it. So here's a Keepit portal. Quite many users using Keepit portal for the guest network. NACView also provide that. So in case you have multiple Wi-Fi network with maybe different vendors, you can unify with NACView with same look and feel. You can customize it, put in a logo, change the color, adding up additional field like why you want to access my network, give me a reason, whatever. So in short, NACView can do access control, and provide you network visibility, integration to your infrastructure to help you to monitoring your endpoints and devices. And we can provide a guest network and control with the Keepit portal. And we have also others network basic management features like DHCP, IP management, or those any other things that you can put it on the same platform. So this is NACView. Okay. Yep. Let's go ahead. If you got questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Okay, Keepit. So let's talk about backup. So backing up, why we need to back up M365 and Google Workspace or Salesforce? Well, because the vendor didn't back up for you. Yeah, that's true. So another hand, those backup provided by the vendor, they have a very limited retention. Usually they help you to keep like maximum 1 year or 6 months or 9 months, nothing more. But in case your industry or your internal policy, for example, has to keep like 3 years or even longer for 7 years, usually the vendor side backup cannot do for you. So Keepit can help you to achieve that. And we support much better, more granular recovery compared with the local vendors backup. And of course, for back to the cyber essential, data backup, of course, that is a very important part have to achieve. Okay, let's deep dive what about Keepit. So we back up M365, Extra ID, Dynamics, Google Workspace, and Salesforce. So that's one of the major story you have to tell. So more 18% of 365 users had to recover data, but only 15% were able to recover 100% of their data. So this is some statistics. So many, of course, losing data, additionally delete some file, you have to recover is very common, right? Sometimes simply cannot recover. There's a few reasons. Maybe they put it in recycle bin. Well, you have to know if you put it in recycle bin, things usually cannot be restored because backup doesn't back up stuff on the recycle bin. But any user love to put things in the recycle bin. Yeah, don't ask me why, but this is really common. Okay, and versioning. Okay, for Google Drive or OneDrive, they also support versioning. For most of the backup solution, they didn't back up the older version for you. So when they restore, they can only restore the latest copy for you. But in case you want to roll back to earlier versions, you cannot. So in case you got a ransomware, you think, okay, it's fine, I have a revision, so you can go back. But there's time limit. Okay, if the version is going too long, it will be dropped by the vendors, or the revision is past the threshold, it also cannot be rolled back. Keepit can back up all the revision, not just the latest copy. Okay, it help you to back up all the versions available from the drive. And one of thing is the legal hold problem, because if you don't have enough non-retention enough, sometimes you are not able to recover all your email. So when there's a case, there may be one single incident maybe involve like 10 or more emails back and forth. If you're just able to restore 5 of them, that's not enough. It cannot form to a complete evidence for those jurisdictions process. So a long enough retention, completeness of your backup is very important for those SaaS data. So relying on your cloud platform is not enough. And sometimes customer didn't pay extra for the vendor itself or do any SaaS backup. They will think, okay, Microsoft or Google are such a good company. They have a very large infrastructure. They have very, very high availability. So our data will be safe also. But the fact is not. Because for the SaaS vendor, they only responsible for the network, hardware, virtualization, OS, and application. That means as you paid, they has to make sure you can use the application. You can log into your M365. You can log into Google Drive. Doesn't mean that the data is protected. It's not guaranteed. Okay. So when will be deleted? If administrator force delete a user, for example, there's someone left the company, but the company have two kenneth. They deleted one kenneth. The data is gone. There's no way to restore. Or some like a ransomware or others application problems. Maybe you integrate with certain API, you grant access to your SaaS data. They have some bugs or I don't know what's the problem. They can wash out the data. And Microsoft say, you grant access to it. I don't have backup for you. Sorry about that. So that's why you have to back up your SaaS data because the data is owned by the user, not the vendor on the SaaS platform. So you have to do the responsibility for the user to back it up. Okay, so that's why we need Keepit. So, yep.
For this backup to work,
right?
Let's say the customer is Microsoft 365. Does he require the global admin access?
Yes.
So it requires the global admin access of M365.
No. When it deploy, you grant it the global access and they create a user for Keepit for the correct permission. Only during the deployment you give them a global admin.
So
one time.
After that you remove.
Yeah, after that it will not use the global admin. It will use the newly created user. Yes, yes. So there will list of permission. You can check the document what you granted today. Usually only read only of your right, of course, you have to restore, right? Yeah, read and write. Yeah.
So it's a one-time global admin.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Individual user authentication.
Yes.
The storage, is it on cloud or it can be a hybrid onto a local premise?
Okay, for Keepit, they have their own data center. Next time we'll talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about it now. So for Keepit, they have their independent data center, multiple data centers over the world. The one nearest us is Australia. Okay, sorry, we don't have Singapore yet. We may put harder to push more customer here, then we can have a Singapore data center. But any copy, you will have 2 times 2. So each data center will have 2 copies, and we'll put it on 2 data centers. So totally 4 copies of your data backup. And on the storage itself, they are not using the simple AES backup. They're using some blockchain technology to do the encryption and also to maintain the integrity, because you know the blockchain, they can ensure that every block is proper encrypted and protected. So that's how Keepit store your data. Yeah, yeah.
So the authentication is on chain. How the authentication?
Well, okay, it's just on the storage itself. So it's something internal. How a writing the data and encrypt it and maintain the integrity. But the front side is nothing about blockchain. You just think it's a new way to keep the data more immutable, because blockchain can help you to avoiding tampering your data, because they have the encryption and hashing others.
Normally it should be data should be off chain, then the hashing will be on chain normally.
Not that complex. I think there is their own private chain. Yeah, private chain to do that.
So they adapt the blockchain technology.
Yeah. you can just you just can imagine it's a new way to store data anyway. Yeah.
I think the concern is so there's no hybrid on premise.
No, for Keepit they don't support.
No, so assuming it is the cloud.
Yeah.
Keepit.
Yeah.
So from Keepit's cloud, can we still move it on premise?
Well, okay. Let's discuss in this way. Okay, you can, of course, you can download the data anytime. You can restore to certain destination anytime, or other premises or all handled anytime. But if in case you prefer to have on-prem backup, let's talk about storage. Yeah. Okay. For Keepit, why we push this solution? Because majority SMB customer, most of the data, the very important data for them is data on Exchange Online, OneDrive, and also Teams.
Exactly, because if you're talking about SharePoint, or even for Exchange Online, let's talk about SharePoint. So SharePoint primarily, or even OneDrive, are kept for collaboration as well as storage. I mean, at this point of time, most of the
many users doing that way.
So from a user standpoint, they don't care where you store. When something happens, they want to access.
Yes.
So if it's cloud, I mean, hopefully there's no problem with the internet. If there's an internet problem, they cannot access.
Well, nowadays shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, you can use a mobile network anytime. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think importantly is how the users, assuming if there's a outage, can the users still retrieve their file locally? That's the question.
Let me show you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let's go to Keepit. So in case of outage, for example, of course, the outage means I'm using M365, certain reason that Microsoft is completely dead. For totally down.
Because internally, I'm on premise, internally my network still running, but not external. I can have internal applications running. I may not host all my applications on the cloud. It can be a
model. So you mean?
So if that's the case, assuming there's outage, all right? The users need to access the file. So if you this is on premise, they can retrieve.
Well, okay, so.
I mean, it's not a challenge to a solution. It's a kind of question that.
Okay, for example, if you I don't know why there's outage or wherever there's a file they want to retrieve, like, and they cannot access to Microsoft. But you can also access Keepit also.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So that's why we are saying that whether that's not mentioned. If Keepit doesn't have an on-prem, then we can be looking at the store with. That's what you're saying. So that's why
you can restore and download somewhere, but just more on the restore process rather than that. Yeah. Okay. And let's take a look at how the console. So this is the dashboard, and you can create multiple connectors. So each connectors means one tenant. You can create multiple tenant, multiple account. Okay. If there's two major group of user, one is able to browse the files, to preview the file. Those others is the like a normal support. They cannot do. They can browse, but they cannot preview. They can only do the restore to the original destination or target destination. For mastermin, I can restore or download anything, or I can share the file. For example, I can share this users directory or maybe the Gmail or whatever as a link. Okay. So the link is shared to, for example, Jason, and then with a password, with expiry date, he can browse their own data and restore wherever he wants. And download as a PST for email, original file for the Google Cloud Drive, or restore to the original drive. That's the things that we can do. Of course, I can do restore like choose the snapshot, restore to in place or a new folder, or even restore to different account. Yeah, that all can do. All those is on the cloud. So yeah, so that's how it works for the Keepit. I think the main point of Keep, I think the comparative advantage of Keepit is we have pretty precise backup and restore. Number of items that we're able to backup is almost everything for those SharePoints and Teams. Because for example, for Teams, in many applications, they may able to back your files, maybe even your chat or channels or discussion groups, conversations, but when they come to restore, a file is fine, give you a file. Yeah, but conversation will give you HTML file. But Keepit can help you to restore in place, back to the chat.
For the conversation, the channel is actually part of the exchange.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, like keeps the conversation, the chat is part of exchange.
Yes, because it is to Teams is a part of item in SharePoint. Yeah, it is quite tightly integrated. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the Keepit good thing, if I didn't understand the meaning, is because of immutability, right?
Yeah.
If you store locally, you may not achieve that.
Locally, a bit difficult. Yeah,
so
a bit difficult.
The selling point is because they use the blockchain technology.
Yeah.
Because blockchain is consensus in integrity of the data.
Yes.
So that's the main selling point.
And yes, but it's just the good is not just SMB. We got very large enterprise using that. Yeah, and some is using to do the merging tenant, because you can restore one account to the other account from different tenant. Yeah. Yeah. Also, we come with extra ID. Most important is, of course, we back up your audio logs, but much more important, we help you to back up the service user and service groups, security groups. That is very important in case you have many SaaS applications. If you delete one of those accounts externally, that be a nightmare, because you cannot we will create the same name, the ID is different, things will not work. You have to reconfigure all those things again. But with Keepit, I can help you restore. Yeah. So, and Keepit got two type of license. One is the standard one. Standard one is having 1 year retention, unlimited storage, licensed by users. So if you have 1 TB, 2 TB, doesn't matter. And maximum you can keep for 1 year for the standard one. For enterprise licenses, unlimited storage and unlimited retention. So you can keep for 7 years, 10 years, unlimited is up to you, but usually we won't go further than 7 years because of the compliance. Yeah, because
you got a backup policy, or you can configure your own backup policy.
Well, when you okay, when you log into the platform, okay, you can configure the backup windows is fixed 12 hours one time, so every day 2 times. Okay, full backup. Yeah, and then you can choose what component you want to back up for the for the Microsoft. Do you want to back up checks? You can turn it off. Anything you don't want to back up. Of course, you can mix and match with your user. So some user you want to back up this, or you that, it's fine. Yeah. And then you can set retention period for each connector. So that's it. Then you can run backup. So you can see the job monitoring. So when it's successful, usually I don't see fail. Only when there's a you have to authenticate your account for certain reason after you change your backend. Otherwise, it should be fine. And we have detailed audit logs. So when someone browse the data, it will be logged here to ensure there's no one abuse the account, and always only give minimum permissions. So don't easily give up admin. You just give the support engineer so they won't able to browse your data. Yeah, that's important, right? And some GDPR stuff, right to be forget, you can archive those back up to certain places so the normal administrator cannot see those guys. So you won't touch the data and not restore. Only master admin can restore it in case it's really required. Otherwise, it will be isolated in the right to be forget. Yeah, so this Keepit is really easy to use. Set it up, then you forget it. Okay. Yep. So this is Keepit. Next about Storeware. Okay. So Storeware is a server-based backup. So you have a backup server. It helps you to protect VMware, Hyper-V, Cosmos, Nutanix, and many others open source or proprietary hypervisor. And also M365, it also able to back up M365, Google Workspace, Endpoint, VM. But it is a server-based backup, so you have to handle your data. Of course, you can back up to your on-prem, your own storage, or you can back to the cloud. You can back up to Wasabi, which is one of the cheapest S3 storage. They also have some immutable capability to lock up the storage, mainly for those cloud, because for the cloud storage you can have an immutable configuration to that. Of course, there's one traditional immutable way is using tape. Some customers still prefer tapes, but not much. But we also support it. Yeah, and it can work on-prem or hybrid cloud. You also can host software on a cloud platform. It doesn't matter as long as it will reach the data near enough. And we support multiple data nodes, so you can have a data node on the cloud, one data node on the prem. Then you can do a hybrid backup and monitoring and centralize the policy. Yeah, so backup is essential for cyber essential because it is really essential. So have the 10 years in the network market. So yeah, so it is from Poland. It's very good. So one of the key things is nowadays many customers moving to either the cloud or the hypervisor. Well, but not VMware anymore because it's too expensive and people just curious, will they have a change again? Because the recent change is really big and hard to adapt. So some may go to Hyper-V, some may go to HCI, like the scale computing we're also selling, or Nutanix or other open source hypervisor. That software all supported. That's not that much solution support so wide range of hypervisor. Yeah. Not
OpenShift, let's say, is containerization. Does it back up container?
Yes, it can help you back up containers. So this is more full chart of the backup. Let's jump for the source. So this group of hypervisor, and we support OpenShift, Cosmos, and Kubernetes backup containers. But I would say backing up containers sometimes too tricky to do that. Yeah, because container itself is disposable, and backing up restore it doesn't help for the infrastructure and the application run. Main point is backing up the first of those configurations or your YAML files, and also your precision storage. Most of the problem is the precision storage. Other than that, if they run database, you just back up the database. That should be fine. Yeah. But there's a few different ways to do the precision storage. If you use those, say, distributed file system like those from Nutanix or SaaS or others, we also support to back it up. Of course, if you using the cloud storage, we also support that. And of course, we have agent to back up Windows and Linux.
So the forward is actually taking snapshot. It's not actually backing up the whole container. Your storage is actually literally having a stage where they take a particular snapshot of backup and store, unless you specifically ask to store physical files or physical folders, then it will be a different story altogether. But storeware itself, I think it should be on a snapshot basis.
If you're talking about containers, VM, OS, yes, we take snapshots for those. Yeah.
So it cannot be backed up as a whole container because the container is on running. Only a software by itself, for example, OpenStack, they actually do its own backup.
Yeah, so that's why I say backing up container is very tricky because there's few major components. Okay, container itself is just forget about it. No one interested to back up it actually.
Because, most of the software, even with Linux or whatever, it actually will have its own backup system, offline from active to offline.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're talking about storeware itself, legally speaking, it's actually a snapshot platform where you will just back up its usage.
Yeah.
Container is container. Container is just
a yeah. So that's why I say there's a two major part that we usually back up. The precision storage. That's the one we usually do. There's so many ways you can do. Maybe you can do NFS, you can do distributed file system. So if MFS or distributed file system, of course we support that. We can help you to back it up. But of course, if you're looking for something like because we have other container specific backup solution. Let's jump a little bit. There's not today, but we have interest to discuss it. Why not? Calcasa catalog. So we have a solutions called catalog.
You can configure that. So it's just how much bandwidth are you willing to sacrifice? Because majority of the backups always happening in right. So if you're talking
about Calcasa.
Raw data.
Yeah. Yes. So this chart discuss about why Chartinso backup doesn't work for Kubernetes. Yes. Yeah, it's the total different ecosystem. So this solution is called Calcasa. So it is a born-in Kubernetes backup solutions. So it help you back up the configurations files, your everything in the Kubernetes, and then it help you to do restore and migrate.
Kubernetes is backing up the large-scale enterprise system.
Yes.
So if you're talking about enterprise and SMB, it's totally useless to implement at all.
Yes.
Cost-wise, it's like
different, totally different. Yeah, but the point is, okay, let's say, okay, how we say, if you're using Kubernetes, of course, there's a more enterprise stuff. They have their concern, they have application where they store data. Then you can use Calcasa because they really do it on that. But don't forget that some vendors start to deploy and ship application in a container software. Just one container. You can download a container, run it in.
Actually, shall I use word duplicate or recreate another one that works for Kubernetes?
The problem,
it's like an image, but it's more encrypted to a smaller size.
yeah, but sometimes they just store the file and temporary storage on the container itself. Yeah, so taking snapshot may be minimum for those small scale usage.
Snapshot can be small scale, can be big scale.
Yeah.
It depending that you predefine your scope of filters snapshot on.
Yeah.
So if your snapshot on active users who are using a particular session, then it is much faster than you snapshot the whole entire server.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just one of the features of the software. If you really want to snapshot, you can use it. But if you're serious for Kubernetes or container backup, you have to find a specific solutions. That's very true. But anyway, the main concern for storage is those hypervisor, VM, database, application, and physical machine, something like that. Yeah, it's good enough, I think. Yeah, Kubernetes is nice to have just because I'm able to back up Cosmos VM. Well, VM Cosmos also can run containers, so I also back it up. That's a reason. Nothing much, nothing more. But so it good enough in you just run a small scale or 1 or 2 image you want to keep it, make sure it's no data loss, it's fine. Yeah, so this is source, and we support many different destinations. As I said, we support tape and also some normal linear line storage as SMB, MFS, whatever, and large number of different kind of cloud storage. So you can put it on, I think Wasabi is the #1 cost-effective one that you can put on the cloud. And more interestingly, we support integrate with others enterprise-grade backup solutions. So if customer have running those net backup or those enterprise backup solutions, but they cannot back up like Cosmos, then they can adopt Storeware as a bridge to help them to back up Cosmos as a source. So there's just API call and feed the data in. That's it. Yeah. There's an enterprise version. Other than that, standard version can be fine. We license by host, by number of guests, or licensed by backup data volume. It's very flexible and cost-effective backup solutions. So in case you want to back up, as I said, you want to back up M365 data on the cloud, on-prem, you can consider Storeware. Yeah, and also you want to have 2 copy, local 1 copy and then cloud 1 copy to the Wasabi. Yeah, of course we can support that with Storeware. But in case if you want something very simple, just kick it start, forget about it, no management at all, Keepit is better. Yeah, because you still to manage those local storage, hardware and server if you're running Storeware. For Keepit, it's a SaaS application. As long as seeing those is running, it will be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good discussion. Oh, next, last one is JumpCloud. It's a cloud-based directory for unified access control platform. So we can enforce MFA, and also we support some device management, including patch management, software deployment, management upgrade, something like that. And it's a cloud platform, so you can manage all the workload on the cloud and also in the on-prem, and access control and secure system. So this is what Cyber Essential talking about. So how can we deploy JumpCloud? First of all, if you have no directory, if you don't have AD, don't have wherever, you can use JumpCloud as a first and a single directory. In case you are running AD and you want to replace it, JumpCloud can replace AD, or we can integrate with your existing directory like AD or others to extend your capability. Most common use case is they have a local AD but not able to manage the Mac computers. Then they can integrate with JumpCloud and using JumpCloud to manage your Mac. What we do is we control the access, the login, the credential, and also we can deploy some group policy-like policy to those devices, like a USB control, password completeness, block some application. We have some device policy to do that. And also we simplify your onboarding. We can, as a IDP, so we can use a single login to access all your SaaS application. And we support just-in-time access. So after you deploy JumpCloud, and then we can become a single identity repository. So everyone can use the JumpCloud account to log into certain provisioned SaaS application. Of course, you have to permit the user to use it, and we support just in time. That means, for example, I have 10 SaaS applications that allow user to use it, but it doesn't mean the user will use it, right? And maybe they never use it, but if you provision it day one, then you start to pay, right? JumpCloud able to do that is the first time they try to access, for example, Dropbox, okay? You may have a corporate license. Then you can provision the Dropbox account to certain new users. Now, if the user doesn't access the Dropbox, the account will not be created. We can do it when they first try to access Dropbox, reprovision the account for him. Then you start to pay. So this is more cost effective, right? And more easy to manage. Of course, on our way around, you can use JumpCloud to provision all the account for you automatically. Yeah, so that's how we integrate with the different SaaS application using SAML actually.
Is considered the user space or app space or group space?
Okay, for JumpCloud, we license a number of users. Okay, for the third-party application, we just do integration. So the billing is from them, it's not from us. We just help you to, in case the platform itself supports just-in-time, and we can help you to do just-in-time provisioning. Otherwise, we can provision it direct for you that to create an account when your user be created.
JumpCloud itself or the just-in-time? Which side? Integration portion itself.
Oh, integration part, of course, the admin or us to help you to integrate. Okay. The just-in-time part is triggered when the user try to access, but you have to provision and configure the integration first. You have to have a enterprise account already for the platform. Then you integrate with JumpCloud. Then when the user access, we will provision account for you. So this is just-in-time how it works. So you have to do some integration, but those are quite standard SAML integration. Yeah, some URL tokens, API, whatever, something like that.
So is a license prorated or is a fixed subscription? For example, you have 10 users, for example. So the license is activated, and assuming if one of the users leave in F9, and it's not going to be replaced for this user, so the license carries on. Or
okay. For JumpCloud, it's very simple. How JumpCloud license is, we have different packages based on different features. Like what the just-in-time is one of the features, or SaaS application integration features. In case you buy a full package, then it's count number of users. Now I have 10 users, right? If the one user left, you have to disable the account. Yeah, then it will not counting your license. You can get a new users, then you have account again.
So it's prorated, lah.
Yes. Okay, next. Of course, we still support some legacy protocol, not just SaaS. We also have a LDAP, Radius, so you can integrate your on-prem NAS, your on-prem network device, wide firewall, VPN that can integrate with JumpCloud. So you can use your JumpCloud credential to access the SaaS, the NAS on-prem or some application, of course, and also VPN. Yeah. And we have an agent, so we can help you to monitor those devices and also log in. And also we provide mobile device, mobile app, so you can do the MFA that also integrate already with JumpCloud. Yeah, so you can replace lots of two stack into one. So we do MFA, we do patch management, we do remote desktop, we do remote management, we do SaaS integration, we do identity management. Yeah, so you have the single identity for user. You need not to have many credentials, many MFA token. You can use a single one to access all your platform. You also can use it to manage your applications and help you to do offboarding. Yeah, because onboarding is one thing, offboarding also very important. The accumulating SaaS account can be very expensive. Yeah. So that's all from today sections. So why is important? So adding value to your customers, talking about with cyber essential with them, make them ready for the cyber essential, let them know, okay, why you need to do backup, why you need to do backup of SaaS, why you do the network monitoring, do you consider to do NAC or even the JumpCloud to have a unified identity management. And with those integration can enhance the resilience for backup point of view, for the management point of view, and the visibility point of view. And yeah, so that's all for today's share. Thank you. Do you have any other questions? Yeah, then thank you very much.
Thank you.